Please tell me, guys, because I have not noted down. So I'm unable to get that. Oh yes, somebody has messaged me. Thymus gland. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you. Most of, yes, this is the thymus gland what we did. Fine. So let me start with the next gland. So thymus was the last gland which we covered. So the next gland to the thymus is adrenal gland. Yes, adrenal gland is very important. Fine. So this is the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland basically secrete a type of enzyme, and the name of that enzyme collectively is known as adrenaline, right? So that is the adrenal enzyme. Adrenal gland, the anatomy of adrenal gland, or we divide adrenal gland into two layers, right? The outer part of the adrenal gland, that is a capsule, that is a protective, this brown color protective layer, right? Then after this capsule or layer, we divide adrenal gland into two parts: adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. So adrenal cortex, this part, this second part, this is the outer part is cortex and middle part is the medulla, right? Further, the adrenal cortex divided into three parts: zona glomerulosa, outermost; zona fasciculata, middle one; and zona reticulata, inner one. So cortex have been further divided into three parts, right? Zona fasciculata, zona reticularis, and zona glomerulosa. Right. Now, let's discuss with the enzyme secreted by adrenal cortex. So, the enzyme secreted by adrenal cortex, the outermost layer is zona glomerulosa, outermost. That secrete mineralocorticoid. Mineralocorticoids are a type of hormones which are responsible for the metabolism of mineral, right? Mineral metabolism. They maintain the mineral balance, right? Mineral balance. The example of mineralocorticoid is aldosterone and corticosterone, right? Aldosterone or corticosterone, right? Then the next layer of adrenal cortex is zona fasciculata. Zona fasciculata is the middle layer, and zona fasciculata secrete glucocorticoid. Glucocorticoid, uh, they secrete cortisol or cortisol, right? Uh, their function is uh, they are responsible for they let the liver to sensitize the carbohydrate. They increase the glucose in the blood, right? They increase the glucose in blood. They increase amino acid in the blood. They have anti-insulin effect, right? They means the effect against to insulin. They are immunosuppressive, means they suppress the immune system. They increase the RBC and decrease the WBC count, and they are also known as the stress hormone, right? So the function of cortisol and cortisone is very important. And next, last part is zona reticularis. Zona reticularis basically secrete androgens. Androgens, they have been divided into two categories: testosterone and progesterone. Testosterone in the that is the response for male, right? That is the male androgen, and progesterone is the female androgen, right? So they are the sex hormone. In male, the that is the testosterone, right? And female, that is the estrogen. Finally, the disorder. The disorders, first disease is addition disease. All these diseases are very important. Addison disease and gynecomastia, both have been asked. Addison disease, it causes by the deficiency of mineralocorticoids and glucocorticoid. Means it will imbalance two things: the mineral balance and glucose balance. It causes the tuberculosis. In this disease, the tuberculosis means TB and low blood sugar, increase the sodium in the urine, right? Sodium amount will be, this is called additional disease. Adrenal virilism, right? Excess of androgen in female, right? Due to excess of androgen in female, it develops some male feature like beard, mustache, and all that, right? Then Gynecomastia, excess of estrogen secretion in the male. It causes female characteristic in male. Means the male will have mammary gland. Well, development of the mammary gland takes place in male, right? In adrenal vaginism, excess of androgens in female, that causes the development of the male characteristic in female. It's a hormonal balance. It is not a genetical balance imbalance. Means these people cannot call me transgender. This is just a hormonal imbalance, right? Then the enzyme secreted by adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla, that is the core part of the adrenal gland, that secreted norepinephrine and noradrenaline. Norepinephrine and noradrenaline control the blood pressure, right? Epinephrine and adrenaline, right? So epinephrine, or we can call it adrenaline. This is called emergency hormone, and it controls the cardiovascular activity, means heart. It controls the heart rate, right? So these are the function of adrenal gland. Let me know if you have any doubt, but they are important. Even the diseases are important.
Sir, this chapter is not in the notebook you send us.
Okay, I'll ask. This is not in the that PPT which have been sent to you. The link you get. That is
Yes, sir.
fine. No issue. I'll talk to the team. Who is the contact person to you? Actually, there are a number of the people, so you have to tell me. Do you know the name of that person who have shared with you? Saurabh,
I
Akshita?
don't know, sir.
You don't know. Okay,
No, sir.
fine. I'll ask my team to send it. Right. Somebody will share with you. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Last, actually, there are different chapters in this PPT, right? For different classes. So might be that there are different chapters, because in some of the sections, the particular chapter have been removed. So might be, but I'll ask them to share with you. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Then pancreas, right? So adrenal gland clear to all of you. It's important. That's why I'm asking again and again. It's very important, not important, very important. Adrenal is one of the most important gland. Fine. So pancreas we have already discussed in the digestion chapter. Again, let's discuss it here as well. Right. Uh, Pancreas. This is the pancreas. Pancreas have two kind of the cells: pancreatic islet and this pancreatic islets, right? And the islets of the Langerhans. Fine. Look, islets of the Langerhans, they are just endocrine part. They secrete hormone, and the name of the hormone is insulin. Pancreatic islets, they are called islets of the Langerhans, right? And as we discussed that they secrete the insulin. So there are these islet, this blue color structure, small it, right? They are pancreatic islets, and these islets, these are also called islets of the Langerhans. They have these three kind of the cell: delta cell, alpha cell, and beta cell. Delta cell secretes somatostatin that controls the growth. Alpha cell secrete glucagon that convert glycogen into glucose, and insulin is secreted by beta cell that convert glucose into glycogen. So remember the name: what alpha cell secrete, what beta, what delta. Because even that question, I have seen that question in medical examination, right? Rest of the part, these are cell of the acne. We have discussed in digestive system that cells of acne are responsible for secretion of the uh, digestive juices, which are secreted. That is the pancreatic juices, right? That is the exocrine. Clear? Now, even the disease from this topic are very important. So now let's discuss with the disease or disorders. Diabetes mellitus or hyperglycemia, hyperglycemia, right? Sorry, hypoglycemia. So diabetes mellitus is also known as hyperglycemia, means more glucose. Hyper means more, glycemia means glucose, right? So in diabetes mellitus, which generally we call it, that is sugar or diabetes, that disease is hyperglycemia basically. And this disease is caused because of two reasons: either secretion of insufficient insulin, either insufficient amount of the insulin is secreted. That's why the complete sugar is not getting converted into glycogen. Means it is unable to convert the complete glucose into glycogen. The another one is healing power is impaired, right? Uh, you must have seen a person if goes to the want to go for an operation. The first question which any surgeon will ask you: are you diabetic or not? The next one is hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia is that reason when the hypo means less and glycemia means glucose. So when the glucose level fall down, this is more dangerous than hyperglycemia. Yes, in hyperglycemia, up to a certain level, a person can be saved. But in hypoglycemia, it is really impossible to save a person if it goes a bit critical level. It reaches to a critical level. Due to, how does it cause? Due to excess of, means hyper secretion of insulin or deficiency of glucagon. There may be two reasons: either secretion of insulin is more or deficiency of glucagon, right? Glucagon is less. So go through with it and tell me if you have any doubt. Ask. You have to remember the function of glucose and all that. Is that clear? No doubt. Hiba, all clear? Safullah?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay, great. Now come to the testis. The last two gland, testis and ovary. Testis we have discussed in detail in human reproduction part. We have discussed that testis have seminiferous tubules. These are the lobules, and these lobules have seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules, this is the tears, and around the surrounding the of seminiferous tubules, there are leading cells or interstitial cell. Leading cells or interstitial cells secrete androgens, and the name of the androgen is testosterone, and it's responsible for development of the. We have discussed that in detail. Then the same thing with the ovary. We have discussed even the ovary in detail, right? So, what is the function of the ovary? Ovary secrete the estrogen, progesterone, relaxin, and inhibin and actin. Estrogen is responsible for graphene follicle development. We have discussed in detail. Progesterone is responsible for formation of secreted from the corpus luteum. Relaxin is also secreted from the corpus luteum. Inhibin and actin, that is response that secrete the FSH. It follicle stimulating hormone. So it inhibit and activate follicle stimulating hormone and gonadotropin releasing hormone. Right. So inhibin and actin, it is also secreted by this one. Right. And we know that progesterone is responsible for maintaining the pregnancy. Relaxin is responsible for the childbirth. We have discussed in detail, so we need not to discuss too much over here. Hormone action, how does the hormone action takes place? That is important. Look, by the way, this is not that much important for medical. This is important, but this was important topic for the board examination. But still, we need to discuss it. When a steroid reaches to the cell, when they reaches inside the cell, there are certain receptor in the cells. They make a bond with the steroid hormone. Along with the receptor, they goes inside the nucleus through the nuclear pore. When they reaches inside the nucleus, right, then hormone receptor complex, it attaches with the DNA. When it attaches with the DNA start transcription. Formation of messenger RNA takes place. Messenger RNA come out of the nucleus. It start protein synthesis. and translation is done, and it make a particular kind of the protein which is required, right? So that is the hormonal action, and that's how the hormonal action takes place, right? So this was all about this chapter, and this was all about the human physiology. Fine. So go through with it, and go through with your NCRT as well, right? Ask me if you have question uh, in this chapter, in this complete chapter of endocrine system. And if you don't have any question, then we will start with some new sections, new part, new unit. And even if you have to tell me if are all clear. If you don't have any doubt, then also you have to tell me. And let me search which is the next topic which we have to go through. Uh, After the chemical control. No doubt, guys. Fine. So we have completed this in 11th class syllabus. We have completed plant physiology. We have completed animal physiology. Before going ahead, I have a message for you. Look, uh, both of the physiology have the weightage of 20 questions. When we talk about the 20 question, it means we are talking about the uh, 40 marks, right? 80 marks, sorry, 40 marks each. So total 80 marks. It have a large amount of the weightage. So please go through with it, go through thoroughly. And if you have doubt, keep on noting down. We'll have some doubt sessions, right? And if even in the running class, if you have any doubt, you can ask me, right? So let me share with you the schedule. We are already, even after the 3-day holiday, we are already ahead of our schedule, right? We are doing our syllabus in very good pace, right? Look, I had made a target to complete chemical coordination on 26th, but even today 24, we have done that. Then in 27th, I was scheduled to do the plant family, right? So plant, this part means plant morphology part will cover with the family part only, right? Some important part and the family part only. So now I will start with this is basically the morphology. We call it morphology, right? There is a chapter in your NCRT. Let me tell you which chapter. Morphology part. So that is morphology of flowering plant, chapter 5, unit 2, right? So that we are going to cover, and that I will start now. So morphology of flowering plant. Morphology of plant. Hmm. Hmm. Let's start the morphology part. I have to make something. All right. Give me just a second. Morphology of flowering. Give me just 1 second. So, right. So let's just start with that, the morphology part. In morphology part, basically you will get the question from the family only, right? So from family you will get the question, right? Still, but need to discuss some of the part. So as you can see that this is just simple flower part, right? Simple flower part, and this the plant, the lower part, lower one part, this part, lower one. This is the called root system. This upper part is called shoot system, right? In shoot system, there is a terminal bud, right? These are the flowers and auxiliary bud. Auxiliary bud are basically those parts from where new branches or new leaves come out, right? And that's it for the shoot and root system. Uh, what is the difference between the root and shoot, basically? So look, the suit system, that part that control node and internodes. What are the nodes? You must have seen a bamboo plant. In the bamboo plant, these not like structure are called node, right? From node, these buds come out, right? These buds, some of the bud come out from the nodes, right? And between the node, there are two internodes, right? There are internodes. This is called internode part. And the same thing with the tomato. Why we call a potato as a stem? Because potato have some eye like structure, right? Bud come out of this eye, like bud come out of this eye. Okay, so and the eye, like this eyes are basically node. So potato also have node and internode. That's why we call it stem. Okay. uh, After that, here in this part I have written that we will cover the family. The reason behind it, because you will get most of the question from the, you will get the question from family only, basically. uh Fruits, and all that. So do you have idea of the floral venation and all that, or you don't have that idea? Petals, sepals and all that, do you have idea or not? Tell me guys, quickly.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have the idea with that. Fine. So that's great. So there are basically three families, and most of the time you get the question from two family only. Either it's from the Solanaceae or it's from the Liliaceae, right? So, but we have to cover all these three families. So, first family is the Fabaceae, right? Fabaceae. Now, what is going to be asked in the Fabaceae? So, first, let me tell you the diagram of Fabaceae. This planet Fabaceae. Fabaceae. Look, this is the floral formula of the Fabaceae, and just a minute. Yes, yes, this is the floral formula of Fabaceae. Let me tell you the floral. Actually, I was searching the floral formula as well, but floral diagram is here. So, and let me discuss with you what you will get what you will get at a question and what you need to remember in this family only. Look, the first and foremost thing that you need to remember, that is the floral formula. So, what is the floral formula of Fabaceae? One more thing, the Fabaceae previously it used to be called Papilionidae. So earlier, before the Fabaceae, there was a name of this family, and the name of this family was Papilionidae, right? That is the Papilionoi, Papilionodoi, right? Papilionodei was the previous name, that was the older name. Nowadays, we call it Fabaceae, right? So this is an older name. Nowadays, we call it Fabaceae, right? And there is a subfamily. So this is basically family, right? This is family. And under the family, there are number of the subfamily. So what is the subfamily? Subfamily is Leguminosae, right? What is the specialty of Leguminosae? Can somebody tell me? Leguminosae. Anybody? Leguminosae means those plants which have legume. So basically, Leguminosae, which is a subfamily, this is called the family of pulses. Family of pulses. All pulses come under this family. It means all the pulses plant, either the pea plant or the pigeon pea, any kind of the pulse, that all belongs to this family, Leguminosae subfamily. Means they all will come under the Fabaceae. First thing which I want to make you understand, right? Next, what is the floral formula? So floral formula, floral diagram is, that is the zygomorphic, bisexual. I'll tell you what does it mean. Zygomorphic, bisexual, calyx 5, calyx 5, gamo, corolla, corolla, 1 plus 2 plus 2 gamo, 1 plus 2 plus 2 gamo, right? And androsium, androsium, 9 gamo, gamo means united, plus 1 indivisible. And what about the gynosium? Gynosium is 1, but ovary superior, right? This is the floral formula basically, right? What does mean by zygomorphic? Zygomorphic means, what does it mean by zygomorphic? Anyone of you? Come on. Nobody? Come on, guys. Tell me first, please. All of you are aware with the floral formula or floral diagram or not? Please, come on, fast. That is important for us.
No, sir.
No. Okay. Then give me 1 second. Then I have to work a bit harder. Just a minute, from where I need to start. Flower part. Okay. So before going into that, I need to start with the flower part. Then I will go with the Fabaceae. Floral part or parts of flower. That's why I was asking again and again, because if the parts of flower are not clear, you won't be able to get all these kind of the things. Please, I want 100% focus over here. Floral part. Where are the floral part? Floral part. Parts of flower, right? Okay. So first try to understand the part of flower. Look. So this is the flower. Flower is a reproductive organ, right? So when we talk about the part of the flower, try to understand. So first, the outermost cover, that is known as the sepals, right? This is called sepals. Sepals, right? Sepals. So individual, this individual green color leaf is called sepals. The function of sepal, it protect during the bud condition, right? So its function is to protect at bud stage. So it protect the flower at the bud stage, means protect the reproductive structure at the bud stage, right? So now what we call it, the number of sepal, there may be 4, 5, 6 sepal, right? So the whorl of sepal, that is known as, they are called calyx, right? So what is the calyx? Calyx. Calyx is represented by a letter. So representative letter is K, right? What is the calyx? Calyx is whorl of sepals, right? So whorl of sepals means all the sepals collectively known as the calyx, and we represent it by the letter K, right? That is called calyx. Then after the second whorl, that is called petals, right? So what is the function of petals? Petals are basically meant for what? Pollination. They attract the pollination. Their function is pollination. They attract the insect for the pollination, right? And what we call them? We call them corolla, right? What is the corolla? Corolla is nothing. Corolla is represented by C, right? What is the corolla? Corolla is the whorl of petals is known as corolla, right? Then gynosium and androsium, right? Then it comes to the gynosium. So basically this is the pistil. So pistil is known as female reproductive part. Female is always represented by this circle and this plus, this, right? This is a mirror of Venus basically, and it's a symbol of females, right? Pistil is female reproductive organ. The uppermost part is called stigma, then middle part is style, pollen. We have discussed all these things in reproduction in the plant. This pistil part is technically known as gynosium. What we call it? Gynosium, right? So we call it gynosium. Noecium, gynosium, right? Gynosium is represented by G, capital G, right? Then the male reproductive part, stamen, that is called androsium. We know that androsium. What is the androsium? This is the male reproductive part. We know male reproductive part, right? Uh, Androsium, stamen. So we call it androsium. Androsium. Androsium is represented by A, right? A. What is the androsium or A? A is group of stamen, right? And what is G? G is gynosium, means group of gynosium or ovary. That is called group of gynosium or ovary. Is that clear? So are you clear with what is the C, what is the A, what is the K? Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let me tell you one by one. So first we'll talk about the parts of flower. First we talk about the first word, that is the calyx, है ना? Or group or group of sepals, right? So calyx or group of the sepals. Let me tell you. Here, just a minute. So calyx may be of two types, right? They may be fused or they may not be fused, right? And how does we represent the calyx? Let me show you with the diagram. So how does we represent the calyx? Here, let's look. The calyx is represented like this way. Means sepals, right? Sepals are represented in this way. That is the outermost world. So calyx, so we represent it by K. They may be of two types. Gamosepalous and polysepalous, right? Gamosepalous and polysepalous. Okay. So we have to represent two conditions. That may be gamosepalous. Gamosepalous is that condition when gamosepalous is that condition when calyx are fused with each other. Calyx are fused, then we call it gamosepalous. In gamosepalous condition, we write it down the calyx and we close it with the help of the bracket, right? Then there is a polysepalous condition, right? So what is the polysepalous condition? I will show you both of the situations as well. Polysepalous. Polysepalous. Polysepalous is the condition when the sepals or calyx or sepals are free from each other. Free from each other. How does we this is that's how there so there are two type of the calyx. So how does we represent them? So suppose that I have to show the gamosepalous condition. So what first I will do that I will in floral formula. What kind of the floral formula that may be, right? So so suppose that this is the outermost world, right? And how I am going to show that I will show like this way. So we represent calyx first with a triangular structure, and the margins of the calyx will be fused with each other, right? So this situation in floral diagram, we will represent like this situation, like this, right? So these are the calyx, this outermost world is the calyx, and these calyx either represented by this way or their margin will be fused with each other, right? And how we will represent with this one. So this is the floral diagram, and in formula we will write like this way. When we will represent the gamosepalous condition, we will represent K, and K should be brought inside the bracket. But how we will represent the polysepalous condition? In polysepalous condition, so there are four calyx, right? There are four calyx, and all these four calyx are fused, right? Try to understand my view, right? There are four calyx, and all these calyx are fused in condition. So how I will represent? I will write it down the K, right? And there are four calyx. So what I will write it down? I will write it on the four, and all four are fused. So I will write it down like this way. So what I will write it down? I will write it down calyx 4 and gamosepalous condition, right? If the calyx are not fused, so for sake of example, there is another flower where there are four sepals. Again, the four sepals are there, but all those four sepals are not fused with each other. I will not fuse their margin, right? I will represent like this way. So their margin will not be fused, but we will show the calyx in triangular shape, right? So that will be the shape of the triangle. It will be in triangular shape, but we will not represent it in a fused condition, right? So all they will be free. So how I will write? I will write it on the calyx 5, calyx 4, and this is the polysepalous. So in polysepalous condition, I will not make bracket. In gamosepalous condition, I will make the bracket. So calyx may be of 2. Is it clear or not? Tell me. Keep on telling me. Be fast.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the calyx, or then I will let you know the corolla. Right? What is the corolla? Next one is the corolla. Again, the corolla may be of two type, same. They may be, so for corolla, we call it that petals, right? So corolla, that is a group of petals. It's a group of petals. These group of petal or corolla is represented by C, right? So C, that is corolla. Corolla may be of again two type. Again the same thing. The corolla may be of two category. What are the two category of the corolla? They may be gamopetalous. They may be gamopetalous, or maybe polypetalous. Gamopetalous, in gamopetalous condition, petals will be fused. Petals are fused, right? In polypetalous condition, petals are free. So suppose that there is a flower, right? So let's make a floral diagram. In a floral diagram, there is a flower, and flower have 5 petals. So let's say 1 petal, second petal, third petal, 4 petals, and 5 petals. So there are basically 5 petals. All these 5 petals are fused with each other. So how we will say? Look, we will show them like this way, have crescent shape. We will not show them like a triangular kind of the shape, right? So this will be the that's how we will represent the calyx and corolla. That's how we will represent the corolla. But here the corolla are fused, so we will make like this way structure. This structure means their margin are fused with each other, right? So that's how we call it corolla. So now how many corolla are there? There are 5 corolla, right? So we will write it down C. In floral formula, we like the C. In floral diagram, we will show like this way. In floral formula, we will like C, 5, and gamo. So we will read it loud, the corolla 5 and gamopetalous condition. But suppose that there are 5 petals and petals are free from each other, right? Petals are free from each other. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are 5 corolla, but all corolla they are free from, their margins are free from. So we will write like corolla 5, and that is the polypetalous condition. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. One more important thing in corolla, in calyx, not in calyx, but in corolla, there is one more additional thing. That is called estivation. What is the estivation? So corolla have one more pattern that is called estivation. Estivation is nothing but this is the mode of arrangement of sepals or petals, right? This is the arrangement of sepals, means calyx or petals. It is common for both, but normally we use it for the petals only, right? Generally. So let me tell you type of the estivation. How many type of the estivations are found? You must have gone through in your 11th class. You must have studied this one. Let me tell you again. What is the type of the estivation? How many type of the estivation is found? This is the type of estimation. Look, estimation may be of these kind, 5 types. What is the estimation? The first one, estimation, if corolla are arranged like this way, so we will represent them in this way, right? They all are polypetalous condition, right? Their margins are free, right? So if their margins are in front of each other, this is called volvate, right? This one is called twisted one. This is called twisted, right? In twisted, one end will be covered and another end will be free, right? The third kind is called imbricate. In imbricate, look, in this one, one of the leaf, one of the petals, there will be one of the petal where one end, look, this both side of the petals are this one. You can see both side of the petals are hidden, right? And here the both side of the petals are free. So there will be one where the both side will be covered, means both side will be covered, and there will be one where the both side will be free from each other, right? And rest three are in twisted manner, right? This is called imbricate estimation. In another one, you can see here there will be two such kind of the petals where their both and or margins are free. There will be two such kind of the petals where both margins are covered. Look, so there are two where the both margins are covered, two where the both margins are free, and last one that will be there twisted, right? So this kind of the estimation is called quinquential estimation. So volvate, twisted, imbricate, and quinquential. Last but not the least, this is found in Fabaceae, Papilionaceae family, which I was supposed to tell you. Means all the flower of the like pulses or like pea and all that, right? They will be like this one. In this one, this is called vexillary estimation. In vexillary estimation, first one there will be that this first one will be a single one, right? Next one will be free, and then in the last one there will be fused one, right? This is called quinquential estimation, right? This is the lower one. This is called keel. The lower one, this is called keel. This free one, they are called wings. This is called wings, and this is called standard, right? In vexillary estimation, there will be, we will see like corolla, you will in floral formula, how you will write it down in corolla. So one free, again two free, and two gamo, right? So that's how we are going to represent that. Tell me, is it clear or not?
This is for only vexillary.
Right, this is only for the vexillary. And the rest of the, how if you have to represent it, there are all of standard, there are the 5, right? So how you will represent corolla 5, corolla 5 involvement estimation, again corolla 5 twisted estimation, corolla 5 imbricate estimation, corolla 5 quinquential estimation. They all will be written in floral formula like this way. From floral formula you cannot tell the estimation, you have to learn the estimation, right? But in quinquential, in vexillary, you can tell the estimation from the floral formula only. You have to write it like this way. Got it or not? Is that clear to all of you or not? Please tell me. Come on, guys. Saifullah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hanifa, Ellen, are you getting it? Farat, Mamuna?
Yes.
Okay. So this was, so we studied calyx, we studied corolla. Now come to the androecium, right? Androecium. Okay. So next one is androecium, right? Androecium is a group of stamen is called androecium. Fine. So first important thing is that uh, what is the endosium? So first and foremost thing is that uh, group of stamen or called endosium. Androsium is represented by A only, right? Androsium, right? And now one more thing. What is the uh, staminode, right? Staminode is sterile stamen. Sterile stamen is known as androsium, right? Sterile means they do not produce the pollen grain and all that, right? Fine. So they are known as the staminode. Again, how many type of the androsium can be, right? There may be uh, two types. First, there are certain conditions. So either they may be fused or free, right? So we can say they may be, just a minute. There are further number of the type of basically. So they may be polyandrous or they may be gamoandrous, right? So polyandrous polyandrous means androsium or free, are free, right? Androsium are free. So if androsium are free, we call them polyandrous condition. In polyandrous condition, example, what kind of the polyandrous condition? So let me tell you. So for example, there is this is the thalamus, and thalamus means where the all floral part stand, and there are number of this androsium. For one, this is one androsium, second, third one, fourth one, fifth one. So there are six androsium or seven one, right? Eight one. So there are eight androsium. So how you will write it down? You will have androsium A, AA, right? That's how you have to write it down. But there is another situation. Another situation is that may be gamma interest condition, right? So that may be gamma interest condition. Gamma interest situation. In gamma interest situation, androsium will be fused. Androsium are fused, right? So suppose that there are eight. There now further there may be different situation. That's what I want to tell you. Please try to understand. For example, there may be monoadelphous condition, right? So there are further classification: monoadelphous, diadelphous, and polyadelphous. So first situation is monoadelphous. Monoadelphous. In monoadelphous condition, what is that? There are all androsium. So suppose that this is one thalamus. In one thalamus, all the, you will see that in rows, all the stamens are fused. All the stamens are fused in single group, right? Right. So you can say stamens fuse into one bundle. Stamen fuse in one bundle. Fuse in one bundle. So if stamens fuse and they make single bundle, this is called monoadelphous condition. Now diadelphous condition. Diadelphous condition. Diadelphous condition. In diadelphous condition, what will happen? Stamen will get fused into two groups. So suppose that there is a one group where all the stamens are fused. Another group, all the stamens are fused. How we will write it down, right? So in monoadelphous condition, we will write it down like there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I will write it down like this way: androcium, 9, and monoadelphous, right? What is diadelphous? 3 plus 3. So we will write down androcium 3 plus 3 means diadelphous condition, right? What is the polyadelphous condition? In polyadelphous condition, right, more than two bundles, right? So polyadelphous condition. In polyadelphous condition, here is stamen fuse in two bundles. Fuse in two bundles, right? Here is stamen fuse in many bundles, many or more than two bundles. How we will write it down, right? Look, for example, right? So so this like this way. So here I will write it down: androcium 3 gamo plus 3 gamo plus 3 gamo, that is polyadelphous. Is that clear or not? Please tell me. So androcium may be like this way. Androcium may be, they may be polyandrous or gamoandrous. Further, gamoandrous may be monodelphous, diadelphous, and polyandrous condition. Polyadelphous condition. Tell me, is it clear or not? Morphology is the thing to understand. You have to build the concept. Tell me, guys, come on. Is it clear or not? Shafullah?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. Hiba, what's about you? Is it clear? Okay, I'm not clear. Alan, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now the last one, that is the gynoecium. Right? How the gynoecium can be, right? Gynoecium, that is the nothing, just ovary, right? So gynoecium, it is symbol is G, and gynoecium is the group of pistil or single pistil, that is called gynoecium. What are the type of gynoecium, right? So gynoecium can be the same thing, right? gynoecium. If there are the gynoecium which are the more than one gynoecium, there are fair enough chances that there are only single pistil, right? So maybe single gynoecium, or there may be more than one gynoecium. If there are more than one gynoecium, then there are the condition that gynoecium may be free or fused, right? So gynoecium may be apocarpus. Apocarpus means gynoecium are free. Gynoecium are free, right? So there are more than in a thalamus. So this is the thalamus, means the platform where there are more than one gynoecium. All the gynoeciums are free. So one gynoecium, second gynoecium, and third gynoecium. But all the gynoecium are free from it, right? So there are gynoecium free, but all the gynoecium are free. So we will call it apocarpus condition, right? But the another condition where there are more than one gynoecium, but all the gynoeciums are fused, right? So we call that syncarpus condition. So in syncarpus condition, the gynoecium are free. Gynoecium are fused. If gynoecium are fused, we call this syncarpus condition. Suppose that this is a thalamus. There are three gynoecium and all three gynoecium are fused. How we will represent it? So there are fair enough chances that there this lower part will be fused. Lower part is fused and maybe upper part free, right? So there are pineapple is a just a fused gynoecium, right? Pineapple is made up of number of the gynoecium. The every triangular part which looks to you, that is a one gynoecium, right? All gynoecium remain free. So we will write is gynoecium free, and they are syncarpus. All gynoecium are free. But there are one more situation which is the found, one more speciality with that gynoecium. So let me tell you that gynoecium. Perigynous, epigynous, and where is that? Oh, very good. Look, on the basis of position of ovary, they may be of following type, right? What are that following type? The flower may be of following type. It may be hypogynous. To try to understand. Try to understand how you will represent in floral formula. So here you can see ovary is at superior position, hypogynous. Ovary is at upper position, petals, sepal, stamen, they all are in lower position. This condition is known as ovary superior. What? Ovary superior. Or you can say ovary superior can be represented by the same we can call it hypogynous. In hypogynous situation, but here is only one guy. So we will let gynosium 1. But as ovary superior, we will draw this line below the G. So this, if the line is there below the G, we call this ovary superior or hypogynous situation. In perigynous situation, right, what is happening? Ovary and this is ovary superior. In perigynous situation, there is a ovary where the ovary petals and sepal, right, they all are in the equal stage. So here we call it perigynous situation. So this is called normal. This will G1. That's it. In epigynous situation, where ovaries below, right, ovaries below to the all petal, sepals, and stamen. This is called ovary inferior situation. Ovary inferior means ovary is inferior to, here I will write it down, light gynosium 1, and that is ovary inferior situation. Is that clear or not? Tell me. Is it clear or not? Guys, tell me. Come on. Helen, is it clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
So you have to remember ovary superior, ovary inferior, and normal situation. That means perigynous situation. Right. Fine. One more important.
1 minute, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir, done.
Okay. One more important thing, that is a placentation. Placentation is nothing, just the arrangement of the ovule, the arrangement of ovule within the ovary, right? That is called placentation. Placentation is, that is the arrangement of ovule within ovary. That is called placentation. Now, how many type of the placentation can be? Look, this is the marginal placentation. In P, you must have seen. So, what is happening in marginal placentation? All the ovules. So what is the P pod? A P pod is a just ovary, right? Ovary get converted into fruit, right? And the seed inside they are the just ovule, right? In P pod, so this is the margin of ovary. At one margin of ovary, all the ovule will be there, right? Ovule. So ovule is C, right? This is the C, right? And this is the ovary. So at one margin. So this is called marginal placentation. Then axial placentation. You must have cut down the lady finger and you must have seen this kind of the structure. The same kind of the structure you must have seen in the this one, your capsicum, right? You must have seen this kind of the structure, right? So this is the axial in a cucumber, same kind of the structure. So this is the axial presentation. What will happen in axial presentation? Ovule will be as axial axis. Ovule at axis, right? So that is called axial presentation. But there will be some compartment, right? Compartment. So this is called locule. Now free central presentation. Then axial and free central is there. There is not a chamber, right? This is a divide. This is septum. So there will not be the septa, right? Again, here you can see the axial presentation, free central presentation. So free central presentation, the ovule will be at center. Ovule at center, right? But there is a no compartment. So So there is a compartment is not there. So this is called free central. Parietal presentation, you must have seen the papaya. In papaya, the seeds are found at the peripheral part, all across. That is called parietal presentation, right? So that is a parietal presentation. In basal presentation, the C ovule is found at the base. This is found in the maize, right? Maize, you can see. Parietal presentation, you must have seen in papaya. Papaya, right? So that is a presentation. Is that clear or not? Tell me. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we are running short with the time today, but still, I want to tell you what does mean by all this. Now you will understand. Look here, zygomorphic. Zygomorphic means that is this can be divided only. This can be divided into two parts only. Means this is the symmetry, right? So that may be actinomorphic or zygomorphic. Symmetry is only two types. Actinomorphic, if you can divide, if you cut down the flower from the axis or the center, cut down into two parts, right? Any line which is drawn from the center, cut the plant in two parts. That is called, that means the radial presentation, radial symmetry, right? But in zygomorphic, this is bilateral symmetry. There is only one axis, so you can cut down this flower into two parts from only one axis. So this is the zygomorphic, right? Zygomorphic means let me write it down. Bilateral symmetry. Now actinomorphic. Sorry, zygomorphic, bisexual. Bisexual means male and female part both are present. Look, ovary is present and stamen is present. So that is the bisexual. Calyx 5, you can see there is a calyx 5 calyx and all are fused. Calyx 5 gamosepalous, right? Means all are fused. Corolla, again, estivation. What is the estivation? Corolla 5, 1, look, 1 plus 2 plus 2 gamo. Means this is the vexillary estivation. Androsium 9 plus 1 means diadelphous condition. They are in the two group. Look, there are 9 fused and one single. Gynosium 1 and ovary superior. What is the placentation? Any one of you can tell me what is the placentation? What type of placentation this one is? Placenta is at one place and one side at one margin. So what is that? Come on, guys. Marginal placentation. You can see marginal placentation. Are you able to understand this floral formula or not from floral diagram? Is it clear or not? Tell me. Ellen, one by one. I'll ask you everyone. Ellen.
Yes, sir.
Hiba, are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Farat. Mamuna. Okay, great, Farat. Mamuna. Getting it? Hanifa.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So now go through with it again. Take the link, go through with it again, because without these all basic structure, you won't be able to understand the floral formula, floral diagram. You will get the question. Sometime they directly ask Solanaceae family. You go through the previous year question directly from the floral formula, that which family belong. Floral formula represent which family, right? Solanaceae have been asked multiple times like this way, right? So see you in next class and go through with it, and we'll start with the floral families and then cell biology and all, right? Okay. But by the way, we have covered the major area, all the major area of the